All right, I want to welcome everybody tonight. My name is Darren Moyer, and I'm going to be sharing with you what you need to know about True Nighted. I've been with this company just a little over 16 months, and really, I'll have to say I'm really impressed how I've watched it evolve. I've been around this industry. I've been self-employed in corporate America, self-employed. Been in the direct sales network marketing industry for about 16 years, but self-employed for over 20-something years. And it just amazes me of what the leadership with this company is doing. Now, you probably heard that saying before with other opportunities and people sharing stuff with you. But what I want you to do tonight is I really want you to just kind of sit back, relax, listen. But I want you to be wearing two hats. One is a consumer, but the other is a business owner. Because I think what you're going to hear tonight, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to walk away from this tonight with the information and the education to make an intelligent decision. This is have to be something where you see the value and does it make sense to you as it did for me and my family. But here's what I want to share with you. Here's where it starts. It starts right here with Dr. Nico. This gentleman, and I'm not going to go into the whole story tonight, but I encourage you to go Google Nicholas Porter, Reeses Dental and Braces. We're talking about a gentleman that came from humble beginnings, that grew up the fifth of 8 kids in a single wide trailer with his mom and dad, went on to work at a dental office as a general laborer, and had an idea of going to school, become a hygienist. And the doctor there convinced him to go on to med school, to go to dental school. And, he saw what he wanted to do was bring value to families just like his that couldn't afford the dental that he needed as a kid. And a lot of people patted him on the back and said, you know what, that sounds really good. Just stay in school. And as he got out of dental school, and there's more to this story, but you need to stick around and hear it. But he wanted to bring that value. It was still something that was on his heart. Of what he wanted to do is bring value to families like yours and mine. And he shared this idea. I think he was in the dental industry for about 3 years. He shared this idea of Reeses Dental with 10 dentists. Seven of them said, I don't see this. And 3 of them said, yes, this makes sense. Well, guess what? 6 years later, and this is just in the last 6 years, 6 years later, there's over 20 offices, over 50 doctors working at these offices, and they're offering these values to these families half price, where you could come in and get a $500 crown at their office, go across the street, it's over $1,000. How can they do that? Because he found a way to add value, putting multiple dentists in an office and sharing in the profits of all the company and of all the offices. There's a lot more to this story, but he did it. And that company was just valued at over $300 million in the first 6 years. See, he's already created a $1 billion brand with Reeses. The first one. Guess what the second one's going to be? It's a company called True Nighted. So I appreciate you guys being here tonight. I want you to have a little bit of the background of where this came from, where it is. But Dr. Nico he's pretty much hands off on Reeses. It's running on itself. Whether he wants it to become a $1 billion brand or not, it already is. But his purpose is over here. About 95% of his time is over here with True Nighted now. And he's wrapped his arms around some of these guys right here. While he was in dental school, he met this guy named Mike Popovich, which was in the direct sales. And Mike talks about, at the time they called him Nicholas, being the starving student at the dental school in Colorado, but, and they met in a direct sales company. And that's where that relationship started years ago. And now, the ideas of True Nighted and wanting to offer value to families like you and I, maybe who have been in other direct sales companies or network marketing, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. But Mike Popovich was with another company for 20 years. He came out of school as an aeronautical engineer from the Air Force Academy. He's no dummy, but he saw a better way of leveraging his time instead of working for the man, of being able to work for himself. And for 20 years now, he's been financially independent, but he started off on a part-time basis. He shared this idea with Dr. Nico, but along this way, he also met a gentleman over here to the far left, which is Carlos Salguero. He's been in the e-commerce industry for over 15 years, over $1 million a month seller on Amazon. He's part of what I call, and he didn't call it this, but I call it this, an online country club, because there's about 40 brands on Amazon that's over $1 million a month that he's friends with, and they get together 4 times a year to discuss strategies, branding, ways to improve their business, brand awareness, and to be in that group. Now I want you to understand this: to be in that group, there's 3 ways to get in there, and you got to meet the criteria for those 3 ways. You got to be invited. You got to be $1 million+ dollar seller on Amazon, and it's $100,000 a year annual membership. Did I mention that you could be part of True United and it's no charge? These gentlemen are bringing their disruptive backgrounds of bringing values and building, billion-dollar brands to this playground called True United, and allowing us to come play with them with this kind of knowledge. Now, let's go into it. What is True United? Let's get into a little bit about what True United is. And if you come over here, what I want to share with you is that this is things that we're already doing. A friend of mine, Kevin, shared this with me 16 months ago, and he said, let me show you a way that we can get paid back on some of the things that we're already doing. And he shared True United, and he said, and it's no charge. The first thing I said is, how are we going to make money for something that's no charge? Because, I thought I had seen it all. I thought I was too cool to be a part of a shopping platform. And when I saw the power of what Dr. Nico and Carlos and Ron and Mike have brought together for us, I said, there's just no way. This is too good to be true. And some of you probably have seen it and heard it and felt the same way I feel. But one of the very first purchases I made is right here on the screen right now, is Buffalo Wild Wings. My buddy came through, he lives in Texas. I live in Tennessee. We met in North Georgia. We met at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and we were talking more about this. And I said, you know what? Let's just order a card. I mean, we're here now. Let's see what happens. Because there was 3 things I was looking for. 1, does it work? 2, is there a need? And 3, and this is the most important one for you and I, is can I do this? And it worked. That was at the end of April of 2017. In a few days, I saw those points convert over into money, and I got excited. When you look at what we're doing here, we're doing things that you're already doing. And I don't want you to look at this. Here's why I want you to listen very carefully. I don't want you to look at this and just think, oh, it's another one of those. Because I promise you, it's a lot more. There was something I read in a book just recently, and it said, we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. And you may not see the big picture of this, but get back to whoever shared this with you, get on the phone with myself or somebody else, and we'll pull the curtains back and tell a little bit more of what's going on. We just have limited time tonight, but I want you to understand, does this make sense to you? Do you want to hear more is why I'm sharing with you tonight. You look at what we have here. We have a travel that's powered by Priceline. Look, these are the same deals, that you're getting on the regular internet, that you go to Priceline, except we're a member base and we get a better deal. Okay, it's the same Priceline. Not only do we get a better deal, but a lot of times, all the time we're getting paid back, but a lot of times we're getting better deal than anybody else out there. So I'd encourage you to go take a look at that. We have another division of this called True United Tickets in the middle of the screen where, do you like going to baseball games or basketball games or concerts? Doesn't matter what it is. You've seen the Ticket Hub and some of the other places. We've got the same thing. And guess what? We get paid back for that. There's another part right here called True United Notes. I don't know what you do right now in business, or if you send if you send cards to your friends and loved ones. But what if you go in and design your own card, HD quality, and you can upload a picture from their Facebook or a picture you have from your phone and put a little message in it and hit send and send it to them. And for less than $2, you can send them an HD quality print card from the push of your button, from your cell phone or from your computer, anywhere you are. You don't ever have to touch it. It goes off to the printer. They stuff it, stamp it, deliver it, print it with quality. Do you own a business? My wife's in the real estate business. A lot of times we upload a picture of a card and on the card and say, hey, thank you for trusting us with the purchase of your home, and put a little message in there and put the logo on the back, and I'll share more with you. But that's part of the power we have here for less than $2. Okay. You go to a pharmacy or one of these card stores. I grew up in the mall, and these card stores are not there like they used to be with Hallmark and some of the others. But you look on the back of those cards, and what do they cost? anywhere from $3 to $5 to $7. And you buy a couple cards, Lord, that's about as much as the gift you give to people sometimes. But we can do this for less than $2 and get paid back on it. But here's where we're really going to create some brand awareness. This is, see, our goal here. What is our mission with TrueNited? All right. Our mission is to disrupt commerce by empowering people like you and I on brand awareness and creating customer loyalty for local, regional, national, and global brands who are sharing their profits back with our members. See, this coming month and month of October, we're going to be able to bring on a local company and create brand awareness for them and get paid back if they want to join our membership base. And why not? You know how much it costs them? Absolutely nothing up front. It's a beautiful idea. I've been a business owner for many, many years. You know, it's called customer acquisition. I love it. If I got a member base of, you know, hundreds of thousands of people like you and I who get paid to go promote their business, that's coming here just in a few days. The other part of this brand awareness that you're seeing in the middle of the screen, you're seeing companies like 64, Vango, Zao Nutrition. You know, Zao Nutrition is one of the fastest growing nutritional companies, you know, on Amazon. Matter of fact, they're the biggest on Amazon. And just recently, I've seen them in the vitamin shop. I was walking, you know, I buy a lot of organic foods, and I was walking in Earth Fair the other day, and boom, guess what? Here's an end cap. It's got Zao Nutrition that just came out. You know, and this is a company that's also friends with one of our managing partners, Carlos, because they're, you know, $1 million+ a month seller on Amazon. And look what they're sharing with us, up to 60% of the purchase price of those back with us. Why? Because we're helping them create brand awareness, and there's more coming behind that. But that's what we do. We come out here and we share these products with people. Listen, obviously somebody's buying them if they're doing over, this company's doing over 100 million a year right now. Why do they want to pay us up to 60% of the 60% of the purchase price of their products with us? Because we're another outlet that gives them unbelievable exposure. But why are we positioned to achieve our mission? Well, I shared that with you a minute ago, what Dr. Nico's already done. See, he's not hoping to create a $1 billion brand. He's already created $1 billion brand. So what's the likelihood of him taking some of those same concepts and bringing them over here to build another $1 billion brand? I'll put my bets with him. See, when people ask me, Darren, what exactly are you part of? And I tell them I'm part of a global membership network, kind of like Costco, that has exclusive deals for its members. And and the membership itself is no charge. So that's what we're doing here. If you look down here at the bottom, there's other places that you and I already go to. You know, whether it's Vistaprint or Home Depot or Walmart or Target or Best Buy, you know, there's hundreds and hundreds of these places that you and I already shop at. And guess what? We get paid back to shop there now. So tonight I owe you two things: an opportunity. What is TrueNited? What you need to know about TrueNited. And number two is an example of how this works. Now, I told you just a minute ago about some of these brands here on Amazon. You know, they're doing $1 million a month. Let me tell you why, the other part of why I'm excited about this, because very soon you're going to see this right here. This is a post that I made just a few days ago, you know, because somebody asked me, you know, people always ask, is that another one of those companies? And I said on here, this gives a whole new meaning to, is this one of those companies? Yes, it is. Thank God. Because in the very near future, and when I say very near future, you're going to see TrueNited right here alongside of PayPal, Amazon, and Google Pay. That's how powerful, and that's how much this company has evolved just in the last 12 months that I've been here. Wait till you see this coming. When you can go to a website and make a purchase, just like we're used to right now, using PayPal or Google Pay. Have you ever used those? I have. So here's the other thing I wanted to share with you. What does it look like? You know, these are just some of the purchases that I've made. If you look here, Vitamin Shop. You know, I go to Vitamin Shop a lot. There's things on here that with Zao Nutrition that they may not have. There's some things here at the Vitamin Shop that they may, and I get paid to go there. Barnes and Nobles, I bought a book. Gift Card Mall, you know, like we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, went out the other night, and we were sitting there having dinner. My wife and I ordered a gift card as we were eating dinner, and boom, it was there just in a couple minutes, and we paid for a meal, something we were going to do anyway. Another gift card. This is where I was when I was traveling. I got paid back to travel with our travel link. Another order from the vitamin shop. There was a domain name that I wanted. I went to GoDaddy and got paid back for it. Another gift card, another gift card. See, these are things that you and I already do. And the cool part is I'm not trying to share with you, something that's going to make you feel better, look better, that came underneath a rock in a dead sea of a country you and I have never heard of. These are actually places you and I go to. And this is how we're going to disrupt. And I want you to hear this. There's a difference between being cocky and confident. All right? There's a difference between having something there's a bunch of hype, and as in the South we call this is the meat and potatoes. Because this is something that you and I have, that you and I already do. And in the next 2 to 5 years, we're going to disrupt commerce, not only how it's bought, but how it's taught. And that's what we're doing tonight. Now, something else I want to share with you. When I come in here and I share True Nighted with someone, it may be a good friend of mine. I want to share with you what I do. You heard me talk about the notes and sending card. I can actually come here and send a card, to a good friend of mine and say, hey, Sue, thank you for allowing me to share True Nighted. I believe we're positioned to help families earn $500 or more a month. Thank you. I can send her a card, and she gets to see what this is like. I can come in here and put my logo on the back of it, whether I want to use a True Nighted logo, or if I want to use, my wife and I have a company, that we put our other streams of income under one umbrella, and it's called M3. I can put that logo on there, or we can put my wife's logo from her real estate, because guess what? It's on the back of that card. Do you think they're going to throw that card away? No. And guess what's on the back of it? Your information or my information. But what does this look like? I'm going to show you what it looks like. It looks like this right here. In the very beginning, I told you I bought a gift card, and it was 8 points, personal points. And those 8 points in just a few days turned into $2.21. Now, I got excited about this. I didn't really know much about it, and I connected 4 people. But guess what they bought? Absolutely nothing. Guess what the company paid me on what they bought? Absolutely nothing. But I got paid back on something that I was going to purchase anyway. And that was back in April of 2017. So this purchase was made like on the 27th of April, and by the 5th, 3rd, or 4th of May or whatever, it turned into $2.21. You know what that's called? It's called proof of concept. It worked. And so what did I do? Got a little excited. The first full 30 days, went from sharing this with 4 people to 44 people. Got 110 points. I wanted to go in there and try some of the stuff that I was just sharing with you, some of the brand awareness, because listen, do I get paid back to buy Tide and some of the other things that were in my household? No, but they shared with me, hey, there's some companies out here called Puracy. It's all organic, plant-based, and they're $1 million brand on Amazon, and we're getting charged the same price they charge on Amazon, but we get paid back. I'm like, well, heck yeah. Tide doesn't pay me to buy their stuff. I'll go try it. So I picked up a few different items, and guess what? I earned back $31.62 of something that I was going to buy anyway. But out of that 44, only 7 to 9 of them made a purchase. And guess what? I got to match on some points, because here's the other part. If you just want to buy and earn some money back, fantastic. But if you want to buy, earn some money back, and turn this into a business, I want to share with you what that looks like. Because out of the 7 to 9 people who made a purchase, I was able to match on about 2,100 points, and that paid me $600. Plus, what I got paid back on something I was going to buy anyway, that's $633. And here's something you've heard over and over. So I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but Dr. Manico's mission, and listen, he's already done this. His dentists are making 4 times what regular dentists make working for another company. Guess what we're going to do? The same thing here. We've already proven it. I've already seen it. But he wants 1 million families making $500 extra a month. I'm telling you, it can be done. We did it in our first 30 days of things that we're already doing. I didn't go out and force anybody to buy anything. I just told them, hey, what if you could get paid back on things you already do? And guess what that turned into? But I want to share with you, that was the first 30 days. The next 30 days, what did it look like? Look like this right here. Out of the same 40 people, Still only 7 to 9 made a purchase. I went and started trying some other things that were there, got 213 points, earned $60 on my own purchase. All right. But out of those 7 to 9, the points quadrupled because guess what they did? They started going and sharing with other people, just like I shared with my dear friends. They started going and sharing with their friends. The company allowed me to match on $2,400 on what people were already buying. I don't know what they bought. It makes no difference to me. Can it change their lives? And is this a business where they can come in and change their lives? Absolutely. So my question is, does this make sense to you? Do you see value? And if you do, get back to us. You know, we'll share anything and everything we can to help you understand. But this is where I want you to kind of put your seatbelt on for a second. Because here's what happens. Normally when you get into this point right here is where people lose it. So, you know, if I were to come on here and I were to say, okay, Cheryl, I want to give you $1 million to jump out of an airplane with no parachute. Would you do it? And most of you are sitting there probably laughing right now. No, there's no way I'd jump out of an airplane with no parachute for $1 million. Why? Because I wouldn't get to enjoy it. How many of you feel that way? I can feel you shaking your head up and down. Yep, that's right. But see, I never said that plane was in the air. What if that plane was sitting on the tarmac? Would you jump out of that plane for $1 million then? And if it was just a little 4-seater Cessna, we're talking a couple feet off the ground, would you jump out? Heck yeah, you would. So let me share with you what that's going to look like. Is because if you go out here and you share this with 10 people over the next 2 to 5 years, is this where people jump to conclusion? Oh, it's one of those things. Yes, thank God it is. Do you think there's more than 10 people shopping on Amazon right now? Do you think you encouraged or influenced somebody to buy something on Amazon? I bet you have. But what about the next 10 years, the next 2 to 5 years? You just shared with 10 people to get 100 points, just like I showed you I did my first month. Because you treat this like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. When you can get behind something because the leadership, the mission of what they're doing, and this is legitimate, it's easy to get behind. You just got to get your heart in the right place where you understand what's here. And I'm hoping that we sharing that value with you tonight. But what if you shared this with 10 people and they got 100 points? That's $200 a month. What if those 10 went and shared with 10? That's $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. What would that do for you and your family? What if you took it another step? What if there's 10 million? I mean, what if there's 1,000 people over the next 2 to 5 years because you shared with the first 10 and it starts trickling on? That's $20,000 a month. Now you get down here and you go, oh, okay, well now there's 1,000 people or 1 million people with 100 points, and that's 20 million a year. How much do you think Jeff Bezos is making right now? He's making billions. Do you think there's over 1 million people? Hey, you just find out what's good for you. Like Mike Popovich said, he goes, there's going to be people here making there's going to be 7 figures a month people are going to be making in the next however many years, 5 to 10 years, however long. I don't know how long it's going to take. What is enough for you and your family? I may say $20,000 would be great for me a month, and you may think, well, that's not enough for me. That's okay. Or some people don't believe they'll ever make 20. That's okay. But we're just going to get in here and we're going to give you the best information we can to make an intelligent decision. And when it all boils down to it is this right here. True United is about live life, get paid. Listen, I hope this made sense to you tonight. Get back to the person that shared this with you. And if you saw some value here, then come here and get your questions answered. It's very simple to start a profile, just like it is with Amazon. Just come in here, get one, get back in there, and see if there's things that you're already doing. I appreciate you joining us tonight. And listen, in the next few minutes, we're going to be talking a little bit how to get started with True United, how to share. So if you want to stick around for a few minutes, and I'll be back in about 4 minutes to share with you how to get started. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.